Another constitutional amendment on our ballot this November is being challenged because of how it's written. First, it was Amendment D. This time, it's Amendment A, which would change how the state funds education. Here with details is news specialist Lindsay Ahrens.
The lawsuit is alleging that the ballot language misrepresents what actually happens if the amendment were to pass. And it also says that the legislature failed to meet a publication deadline they were supposed to. Now, this lawsuit coming on the same day that groups opposed to Amendment A are saying you shouldn't vote for it.
We need to send a strong message that we, the people, are against Constitutional Amendment A because it will funnel public tax dollars away from public schools.
The president of the Utah Education Association, the state's largest teachers union, says regardless of whether a judge strikes Amendment A from the ballot, she, along with other groups, are opposed to changing how the state funds education.
We anticipate that what would happen is other state needs would take priority over public education.
Amendment A asks Utahns whether they want to take off the requirement in the Constitution that income tax must pay for public education. In exchange, groceries would get a little bit cheaper. The groups opposed to it allege that opening up this money is a dangerous proposition.
The Utah PTA's chief concern is that we know what they will spend your tax dollars on. It will be spent on private religious school vouchers.
Are we ready to let the legislature fund pet projects, including private religious school vouchers, at the expense of our neighborhood public schools?
But Governor Cox says that won't happen and argues that he and the legislature have increased education funding over the last 4 years.
That is not because of the earmark. It's because of our commitment to our kids.
He says this change is needed because it allows all of government's other functions to have access to the money.
It's a good idea because it gives us the flexibility that we need to fund government as a whole.
But it's the language of Amendment A that Pinckney's group is asking a judge now to void, and it makes a similar argument to the case against Amendment D. Amendment A asks voters whether they want to prioritize education funding. Pinckney alleges the change wouldn't do that, and the language doesn't make that clear.
The language for Constitutional Amendment A does not include all of the legislative actions that would take place.
We don't know yet whether a judge is going to hear this case over Amendment A. We do know on a separate amendment, Amendment D, a judge recently voided that one from the ballot. Reporting in Murray for KSL 5 News, I'm Lindsay Ahrens.